Today, we're diving into the story of the engine that completely transformed a nation, India's industrialization. It's an incredible tale of ambition and growth, for sure, but it also comes with a pretty steep price. So the question is, how do you build a modern economy, and what does it really cost? Really think about that. It's the massive question every developing nation has to face. For India, stepping onto the world stage, the answer wasn't just about putting up factories. No, it was about forging a completely new identity through this huge and often very difficult transformation. And that transformation, that process, is called industrialization. And let me tell you, it's about so much more than just building stuff. It is a fundamental rewiring of a country's entire economic DNA. So, at its very core, industrialization is this huge shift, right? It's moving from an economy that runs on human muscle and animal power to one that's driven by machines and electricity. It's not just getting new tools, it's a total revolution in how a country produces, grows, and even competes with everyone else. So, why would any country go through such a massive upheaval? Well, because the payoff is just immense. Industrialization is the engine that grows the whole nation's wealth and creates tons of jobs. It unlocks the value hidden in natural resources, it boosts what you can sell to other countries, and, this is crucial, it helps a nation stand on its own 2 feet by being able to make what it needs right at home. I love this quote because it just nails it. You know? If farming is the strong backbone holding everything up, then industry is the dynamic, buzzing energy that pushes the whole economy forward. But here's the thing. Industry isn't just one single thing. Not at all. It's this huge spectrum, everything from one person working in their home to a massive, sprawling factory. So how do we even begin to tell them apart? What's so fascinating when you look at this is the incredible jump in scale. Cottage industries are super local, right? It's family members using old school tools and techniques. But then you get to small scale industries, and it's a whole other level. They hire people, they use modern tech, and the amount of money involved is way, way bigger. We're talking up to 50 million rupees. And this small scale sector is this incredibly rich and diverse ecosystem. Just look at this chart. It's not just one thing. You've got everything from traditional village pottery all the way to modern factories making complex engineering goods. This is the sector that provides a massive number of jobs all across the country. And then you have the giants, the large-scale industries. We are in a completely different league now. Investments here are over 100 million rupees. Think about gigantic steel plants, shipbuilding yards, factories making heavy machinery. This is the absolute bedrock of a modern industrial economy. But industry doesn't just exist in a bubble. It has this deep, inseparable, symbiotic bond with agriculture. They're really just two sides of the very same economic coin. Let's just follow the flow for a second, from the farm to the factory. So agriculture gives industry the raw materials it needs, like cotton and sugarcane. It feeds all the workers. The money saved from farming can provide the capital to start new industries. And farmers themselves, they create a huge market for all the goods those factories are making. But it's not a one-way street. The flow absolutely goes both ways. Industry gives back by providing the modern tools that make farming way more productive. We're talking tractors, fertilizers, pesticides. It builds the roads and irrigation needed to get crops to market, and it provides jobs for people who might not have work in rural areas. The bottom line is, one just cannot develop without the other. They're totally linked. But this powerful engine of progress, well, it has an exhaust. And all that rapid growth, all that transformation, it comes at a very serious cost. And that cost is paid by our environment. This statement right here, it just cuts right to the heart of the whole issue. It perfectly frames the central paradox of modern development, doesn't it? The very same process that creates wealth and lifts people out of poverty is also the one that can cause severe, long-lasting damage to our planet. And this challenge, it's really unfolding on 4 main fronts. You've got polluted air from smokestacks, polluted water from untreated waste, contaminated soil from hazardous chemicals, and of course the constant disruptive noise from all that heavy machinery. So, when you look at this chart, pollution is the biggest piece of the pie, no doubt, at 40%. But look at what else is going on. Almost half the damage comes from industry's relentless thirst for resources, just using up what we have and clearing forests to get more. It's a chain reaction of pressure on the environment. Okay, so Faced with all these challenges, is there another way? The goal now, really, is to find a new balance, to build a future where progress and the planet aren't constantly fighting each other. And solutions are going to have to come from a lot of different angles at once. This means we have to adopt cleaner technologies, switch to renewable energy like solar, use fewer harmful chemicals, and this one is critical. We have to deal with the waste we create in a much, much smarter way. You know, one of the most fundamental steps is also one of the simplest, just separating our waste. Seriously, just by separating waste right at the source, it becomes so much easier to recycle it, or compost it, or dispose of it safely. It's a small change that can have a massive impact. And this is where technology can be a real game changer, especially for cleaning up emissions. The basic idea is to pass all that thick, dirty smoke through a series of special filters and scrubbers. And these aren't just minor tweaks. We're talking about technologies that can remove the vast majority of all those harmful pollutants before they even leave the smokestack.
And that brings us right to our final, huge question. The technology exists, and the path forward is getting clearer. But it's a race against time. This is the core dilemma for India, and really for the entire world. Can we balance that immediate, urgent need to lift people out of poverty through economic growth with the long-term existential need to protect the planet that we all share?